From the world's center of speed, the winter is gonna get hot tonight as we continue with the RealSimRacing.com Icebreaker Winter Series, kicking off round number 5 tonight from the legendary Daytona International Speedway. Jacob Seelman with Petey Zeller in for Evan Pasoko tonight, and driver analyst Eric Brundy's Thomas George going to be taken to the microphone here as well across this broadcast, seen live tonight on LSRTV. We are gridding up on the high banks, getting ready to go green flag, and as we get set to roll off qualifying, already complete for this 5th round of the Icebreaker Championship. And the guy who's been on top of the Icebreaker Series all season long, Petey, Dwayne Vincent, he's on the pole tonight alongside the 47 of Sean Brightsman, the front row at a track where anything can happen.
Yes, and last week we saw Dwayne Vincent have another solid run, was up in the top 5 the whole race when controversy broke loose. The teammates Brian Macklin and EJ O'Rourke got into contact late in the race with just 5 laps to go. EJ went underneath his teammate and got up into him, and Brian Macklin went in the wall, fell back to 7th position. EJ went on to win. They made up after that, obviously, but it was just a very exciting finish we saw from last time we were with you in Charlotte, and that was the last time we were with you, and now it's a whole new year, and we're ready to go racing from Daytona here. And Dwayne Vincent, fast all season, has got himself yet another puller.
We're going to take a look here at the Real Sim Racing starting lineup tonight. As we just mentioned, the 9, Dwayne Vincent, the Napa Chevrolet on the pole, Sean Brightsman in the 47 to his outside.
Von Marinac is starting from the 3rd position. In 4th, give it to Mark Bratcher.
Garrett Atwell starting 5th tonight, Scott Saunders starting 6th.
Last week, winners EJ O'Rourke in 7th. In 8th, Dan Murray.
9th to David Comstock, a winner on this Icebreaker Series, and Brendan Mercer, the 29, a strong run, starting P10 tonight.
Heartbreak last week for Brian Macklin. He's going to start 11th, and 12th is Bobby Terrell.
13th to John Higman Jr., the RSR veteran. Matt Lacrosse, the 21, rolls 14th.
15th to Scott Simley. 16th to Ralph Nolan Jr.
17th tonight going to be the 6 of Ronnie Potts, and 18th in a different number tonight, the 33, that's Rich Jett.
19th to Jamie Pitts. 20th to number 97 of Joshua Morgan.
24 of Mike Montesi rolls 21st tonight. William Kemp to 22nd. Nathan Little and Sherry Ann Mills 23rd and 24th.
26th, Wyatt Wolf.
Kevin Linden 27th. And some of the guys in on provisionals tonight. Adam Benefield, the 43, he's subbing for Doug Roth. Dakota Bowman, the 59. Stephen Herring, the 98. 51, Doug Manning. 31 cars strong here this evening as we get set to rock and roll from the high banks. It's the world's center of speed. We've got a bunch of camera angles tonight. We're glad you're with us on LSRTV. And as the Ford First Mustang pace car takes the field off of turn number 4, we are getting set to roll here from the high banks of Daytona. The 9 to the green flag. Dwayne Vincent sends them rolling. We are underway from Daytona International Speedway. Vincent gets the better of Wrightsman. He's got help from Marinac, the 26, with a big shove. Now moves to the outside. The Napa Chevrolet with no help down to turn number 1. They're wheel to wheel for the top spot.
Right behind them, Garrett Atwell is pushing Dwayne Vincent on the outside. Spawn Marinac has no immediate help. The 47 is trying to get up to him, but he cannot quite yet, and he's going to fall back. So give it to Garrett Atwell and Dwayne Vincent. Vincent is now going to have immediate help. We expect to see tandems hook up here, so expect to see these guys going 2 by 2 by 2 here shortly as we watch the outside line start to pick up a little speed again, as Stephen Marinac has found the number 47 machine out there. So hopefully they'll be able to find their way to the front quick here as we see David Comstock move to the outside. Jacob.
That's a Stroker Aces tandem out there to the outside. Comstock and Macklin going at it, and got a couple of guys who are very familiar with this type of racing in the booth with us tonight. Eric Brundy's the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series champ. Thomas George, who was a big part of the championship fight down all the way to the very end. A welcome to both of you guys tonight. And Thomas, I'll go to you first because this tandem style drafting, we're so used to it in the B car as we watch a move for the lead, Atwell to the front. But we're going to see this all night. Nobody's going to have the edge, and it's going to be all about who you can dance with at the end of this race.
Yeah, and with the tandem, the main thing is you got to find, like you said, you got to find that person that you work best with. And obviously David Comstock and Brian Macklin are teammates, so teammates are always going to be a big factor. And ooh, we already got a three-wide battle.
3 wide for the lead, yeah. You got Atwell there, Comstock, Vincent, Comstock up the middle to the top spot. Eric Brundy's, your teammates out in front of this one. They're trying to take a 3-car train to the front. Comstock's got it, O'Rourke wants it, and I mean, the stroke races are putting on a clinic at the front of this field, trying to go 3 wide again.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time, you know. Some people like to hang back early in these races, but they're definitely putting their best foot forward right now.
So O'Rourke to the lead with a shove from Macklin. Those top 2 have got the lead. Now Macklin takes a peek to the outside. He wants this top spot, and I mean all 3 of them just right there, tightly packed. And behind them, Petey, you got Brightman and Atwell fighting for that 4th spot.
And that battle is heating on strong here. Atwell has no one to work with now, though. Marinak's trying to get to his bumper, but I'm not sure if he's going to quite get there in time. The top pair is hooked up. They have Sean Brightsman and Brian Macklin, so they're going to try to make the show on the outside here, although David Comstock's going to jump there. Comstock is going to take the lead from E.J. O'Rourke here, so O'Rourke, after getting to the front with Macklin, is actually have the lead taken away from him by a machine, pushed by Macklin. Actually not so fast as Atwell got right to his bumper. O'Rourke fighting back on the inside, and Comstock's trying to give it all he's got on the outside, but the inside actually had advantage as O'Rourke's actually going to lose Atwell here, so Comstock's going to have a run here.
And he gets the top spot in a dead heat at the line. Literally, the sim says it's dead even. It gives Comstock credit for leading the lap, but wow, I mean, if this is how tight it is after 4 laps, I'm ready for the end of this race already. It's going to be fun. Thomas, I'm looking at this, though. This is probably one of the only disadvantages of the stroke races being a 3-car train at the front of this field is you're going to have somebody at the end of this race who is left out, and I'm liking the looks of E.J. O'Rourke right now paired up with Garrett Atwell. Those 2 cars seem to be working well together, and it got O'Rourke the lead for a minute there out front before Comstock was able to slide down in front of him.
I would say it's too early to call, you know, who's going to be where at the end. You know, you got to think about it. This is the early stage of the race at a plate race, and you know, you're trying to be patient, even though it doesn't look like anybody here is being patient right now. But as the laps wind down, strategies are going to play out. People are going to start making moves, and honestly, once you get to around 10 to go, 5 to go, you're not going to have any teammates. You want somebody to push you that you know, but they also are trying to win this race too.
They are trying to win this race. It's an 80-lap race, 200 miles here at Daytona. We got 1 car on the apron trying to see. I didn't get a really good look at it, Petey, but 1 car really slow, looking like maybe headed to pit road.
Yeah, I believe it's the 6th machine of Ronnie Potts, so Ronnie Potts is starting to emerge with traffic here, so Potts struggling early, not quite sure what happened to his machine, but definitely not what he wanted to see here early in this event. And right now, folks, this lead battle is where it's at. You might think you're missing out on the hornet's nest in the back, but that is by no means true right now. It's very spread out until you get to the very front, where we were seeing Stephen Marinak and Brian Macklin try to take the lead here. They're going to try to get by the number 19 of Abbott. Here they come. Marinak to the outside, but Macklin can just not get right to his bumper. And on the inside, Abbott and Comstock working great together. That is not going to go as planned for the top 2 on the outside, although Comstock is looking to take the lead maybe here, so Comstock and Abbott are going to be pretty close to the line. And I believe Abbott led that one because he had the advantage on the inside line there.
Garrett Atwell does lead that lap by 32 1/1000. Here comes Comstock to the outside, though, with help. And this is one of those moments where you sit down and look and just ask yourself who's going to get the push first. And Eric, I'll ask you this. I mean, obviously it's your teammates at the front of this field, but you know how this drafting style works as well as anybody, and we've seen it play out, but how important is that push, especially as we get into the later go-ins of this race?
Yeah, you know, you got to have somebody you trust around you because you got to time it just right and get that push there at the end. I think these guys are playing with fire a little bit right now. For me, I might back off a little bit, but you know, these guys really are hungry and they want to get the lead. And make
trouble!
sure
John Hickman Jr. up into the fence. Caution flags out. Big wreck. Hickman goes over. And there's the Hornet's Nest, Petey.
Ooh.
We called it.
Well, we did call it, and man, did that get big. That got bigger than they anticipated. Higman went for a wild ride there. He's still in the turn 1 grass, and I gotta look at what happened here. It looks like he was racing. Now he was on the inside of Brian Macklin. Looks like Macklin came down, he came up, and man, did he go for a wild ride. Higman went flipping over, got slammed into by that number 4 machine, and many others went spinning out into the grass, although I believe no one got as much damage as John Higman there. Some other guys probably sustained some pretty serious damage, but I think Higman definitely got the worst end of that one.
It looked to me like Higman tried to move up just a little bit, and Brian Macklin was there, just nowhere to go, and then Higman gets collected by 3, 4, 5 cars before he gets lifted onto his lids, back down on all 4 wheels, and a ton of damage to that machine, and that's, I think, Thomas, you put it best to me back during the Final Cup Series race at Daytona in the middle of the season. That's just plate racing.
Yeah, and you literally don't have, you have maybe inches apart a lot of the time, and things just happen so fast that anything can happen at any time, and you just saw it there. I'm thinking about this, big points implications. You got Dwayne Vincent and Brian Macklin in there. That is the, I don't have the word for it, but that's the danger, I guess, of just racing in a plate race in a point situation. You don't know what's going to happen, and like I said, I could agree with Eric. They were playing with fire, and they got burned.
They did get burned, and that's the top 2 in the championship standings, I believe, right now, is Macklin and Dwayne Vincent. Those 2 have been so consistent through these first 4 races. This is going to hurt, as we see David Comstock, who one would think if he can stay where he is, he stands to gain pretty big tonight. He takes these leaders onto pit road. Stefan Marinak coming with him. Petey, I guess we're about to see what these guys are going to do with 10 laps in the books, already an eighth of the way through this race.
Yeah, very interesting to see what they will do here. Tires aren't very important at Daytona, as we see a lot of these leaders just gas them up and get out of there. We're going to see E.J. O'Rourke win the battle off pit road, followed by David Comstock. So 4.5 seconds in pit road for E.J. O'Rourke. Just a little gas and go there for these drivers. Remember that you're going 200 miles an hour, driving full throttle. You might think it would tear up the tires, but it really doesn't. You're never having to let up, and the car's never like getting tight, dragging up the track, or getting loose, skidding the tires. So the tires stay pretty consistent here. So tire wear will not be an issue tonight. Maybe you might take right sides around halfway, but that's about it. You should not have to worry about tires here tonight to have speed at Daytona.
So right now we're 10 laps in, and E.J. O'Rourke going to be the new leader off of pit road ahead of David Comstock. Garrett Atwell will reset the rest of the field in just a moment, but we'll be back with more from Daytona International Speedway in just a moment. You are watching the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series on LSRTV. Welcome back to the World Center of Speed, Daytona International Speedway and the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series. Jacob Seelman, Petey Zeller, alongside tonight Eric Brundies and Thomas George up here in the LSRTV broadcast booth as it got big in a hurry here at Daytona on the high banks. Coming out of the tri-oval, headed towards turn 1. John Higman Jr. in car number 60 jumps up into the number 30 of Brian Macklin, right about 6th place, and it's on in the pack. Higman goes up nearly into the catch fence. Bout goes on his lid, takes out about 8 cars along with him, and carnage ensues down by turn number 1 and takes out the top 2 contenders in the championship standings from contention. Dwayne Vincent, Brian Macklin, 2 of the guys involved in the wreck, and Petey, as we get set for our first American Ethanol restart of the night. I mean, this is it's already been nuts, but now you factor in, you've got David Comstock with a lot to gain and a bunch of contenders who now aren't. This is crazy.
This is definitely insane here. Expected some guys to be contenders here tonight. Brian Macklin was one of them that I really thought was going to have a shot. His car is annihilated right now. That car I do not see having any shot of being competitive, although I've seen crazier things happen, but he has some pretty substantial damage, Jacob, as we get ready for another restart. Should be interesting, though. Still a lot of fast cars left, such as Comstock or O'Rourke and Atwell. So, and this is Daytona. We're going to see some guys come from the back that we might not have expected, and should be exciting.
Oh, I have no doubt it's going to be exciting, and this is one of those moments where we may get to see a non-regular contender get up and challenge for one tonight, like a Kevin Linden or a Ralph Nolan Jr., Sherry Ann Mills up in 15th, Rich Jett to 7th right now. Anything's possible here at Daytona, and I reckon that we will see that over the course of what's going to be the next 67 laps when we get the restart, as that iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car going to make the hard left turn to head for the pit lane and leave the field in the hands of the Stroker Aces teammate TJ O'Rourke. David Comstock coming to the line, green flag in the air. We are back underway from Daytona. O'Rourke gets the edge. Comstock drops down to give him a shove as they head towards turn number 1. 23 and 20 leaded, and Garrett Atwell trying to get some help from Bobby Terrell in 1.
Terrell trying to get up to him here. Should be interesting to watch this. Terrell, a veteran with these B cars. Atwell needs some help, though, if he wants to get by the number 20 machine of Comstock and O'Rourke up here. And looks like Terrell's getting a run on him, though. Speaking of runs, there goes Atwell by himself to the outside. He's going to get bobbly, and he's just going to pull back in the line. So not going to make anything of that right now. And it looks as though he might be the odd man left out, because look at Matt LaCrosse. He's coming up to Bobby Terrell. It's just about who Bobby Terrell wants to go with right now. Terrell's getting bumped from LaCrosse here, and they'll get single file 5-car breakaway from the field right now, Jacob.
I'm not sure whether it was Thomas or Eric that said a couple minutes ago that you really can't judge who's going to be the pairings at the end of this race, because they're going to change about 50 times before we get there. And, I think that's what we're seeing with that 14 of Bobby Terrell. And Thomas, I'm sure you can vouch for that. When you've got 4, 5, 6 cars that are all really good at the front of this field, you're going to try and feel it out, see if there's somebody you're better at pushing, if there's somebody that's better at pushing you, and what combination makes the puzzle work to get you to that lead position.
Yeah, there's nothing I can really add to that statement there. That's about what you've got. You got to find the person you're most comfortable working with, and I think you said it earlier as well that, out of those 3 cars of O'Rourke, Comstock, and Macklin, one of them's going to be left out. Well, Macklin was one that got left out, so now you just got those two teammates that are always strong. They're going to be pushing each other, but then you're going to have situations like with Bobby Terrell and Matt LaCrosse, John Abbott. They're all going to be trying to find who they can work with, and as the race gets down towards the end, whoever you're most comfortable working with, that's who your partner's going to be. I gotta say though, you're going to me just a little bit too much. You may want to go to Eric a little bit more too. I think he's being left out.
We couldn't leave Eric out now, could we? I mean, he is the champion and all. And Eric, you've got to be having a lot of fun right now watching your team just basically dominate this race. I don't think that there's been maybe 1 or 2 laps of this entire race that's not been led by a Stroker Aces car between O'Rourke, Comstock, and Macklin.
Yeah, that's a great thing about this team is, we have great communication and we work together and, we're all usually on the same page. So it doesn't surprise me too much that they're working together and up front right now. So.
Up front, but getting a challenge from Garrett Atwell Petey. I mean, that 19 car is looking for a lane anywhere he can go. He's looked to the outside. He's tried to look below the yellow line, which you can't go there. He's just had absolutely nothing, and we got a tandem move into the high side now. Matt Lacrosse has got some help. Here comes John Abbott in the 10 to the outside. Atwell jumps up there.
Atwell considers going up there on the outside to help him, but he's going to pull back in line for now. He's going to look up there now. Maybe he's going to pick up Lacrosse and John Abbott. Abbott is still there pushing number 21. Make sure to check out his ticker on the screen. Very cool new feature you will see here tonight as Abbott's going to try to push Matt Lacrosse to the lead here. Lacrosse on the outside. They're just outside of Atwell. It looks like they're going to get more help. Here comes Joshua Morgan in the number 71 machine of Jamie Pitts. So more machines come the outside along with Comstock. The outside line is now very bigger than the end. 3 wide. Matt Lacrosse takes it to the outside. He's going to try to take the lead away from David Comstock. Can he get it? It's going to be close. Jacob, he got it.
Oh, he got it by about an inch, and that was all he needed to get to the bottom lane of the racetrack. Left John Abbott out to dry. They're trying to go 4 wide off turn number 4. Abbott thinks better of it. Sinks it back to just 3 wide racing, but they're wheel to wheel to wheel for that runner-up position as they cross the stripe. We are 18 laps in, 3 wide for the lead again. Abbott's coming to the outside. He's got help from the 97 and Josh Morgan. Battle for the lead in 2, and I think Abbott may come away with it.
Wow, what a battle here. Abbott's still on the outside, still 3 wide for second. Abbott's clear. He can come down anytime he wants, and he brings Joshua Morgan with. Joshua Morgan's going to try to cross him over, but it will not work, and things are at calm down slightly, but 3 wide back here again. The 71's going to back out, and oh my goodness, and somehow through all that, give the lead to John Abbott, second to Josh Morgan, but not for long, because here comes Comstock.
Comstock and Atwell, yeah. Oh. Petey, I think the words hornet's nest apply again. And, Eric said they were playing with fire. They're playing with fire right now. 3 wide for the lead. The last 2 laps, they finally settle it back out double deep. And David Comstock to the lead. John Abbott trying to challenge. And Abbott has gotten a lot of help from that 97 of Josh Morgan. That car, I think, is a great pusher right now. He's trying to stay glued to the back bumper of Abbott, and he's done a better job of it than most. But that 19 machine might just be the best pusher here. He's got Comstock all the way to the lead and now takes a peek to the outside.
That 19 machine's been on a mission of his own tonight. He certainly wants to take the lead here from Daytona, and he's going to do all he can to get by Comstock, but right now he needs help from Abbott. Can Abbott get there on the outside? Here comes the 21 of Matt Lacrosse. He's being pushed by Jamie Pitts. Pitts having a great run tonight, is trying to get Lacrosse to the lead, and they're flying like, oh my, here they come. Outside of John Abbott, and the Lacrosse machine is the fastest car on the racetrack by far right now, but their run's going to run out of steam here, Jacob. They almost got to the lead, and the 19's going to look high.
19 looking high. He wants the help from the 21 of Matt Lacrosse. Lacrosse is there. No, Lacrosse goes 3 deep again. Down the super stretch and in turn number 3. Matt Lacrosse to the outside with Jamie Pitts, who was about 7th a lap ago. He just shoved Lacrosse to the lead through turns 3 and 4. Lacrosse to the bottom, leaves Pitts out to dry, and we've got a lead change as they come off turn number 4. Now Atwell forces the move, pushes the issue down to the inside. They're wheel to wheel again at the stripe.
Fastest tandem on the track, that is the 97 of Joshua Morgan. He's going to take it 3 wide for second here. Here comes Morgan to the outside. Oh, he gets 2 wide in the wall. He burned himself, and he's in the wall. Come back in the traffic. He got the 33.
No caution yet. There's the caution flag. Rich Jet got collected in it, but that started when Josh Morgan got a little bit wide and just ate the safer barrier in turns 1 and 2. Flag flies for the second time, though this one a lot less spectacular than our first yellow, but it's going to come out here with 22 laps complete. We'll take a look at this on replay, and Petey, it just looked like Josh Morgan. He was trying to make a hole there in that 3rd lane on the outside and just pushed it a little too far.
Yeah, it was just a small 4-car wreck here. Wyatt Wolf, the 33 of Rich Jet, Joshua Morgan, and unfortunately Stefan Marinek almost had it all missed, but then he got slapped by the number 97 of Morgan there late in the wreck, so he got some significant damage from it. And that, just like that, we go from 3-wide racing to under yellow flag conditions just 20 laps into this event, and whew, I think these drivers needed a breather, Jacob. That was some intense racing, and it had to break eventually, but man, they put on a show before it did.
I needed a breather after that one. That was... wow. Okay, so I think we reset with Garrett Atwell actually having the lead when they crossed the stripe last time by, so Atwell will lead over Comstock, Lacrosse. How about the run by Jamie Pitts to 4th, and John Abbott led a lap under that cycle. He's in the top 5 right now, along with Sean Breitzman. Brennan Mercer's hanging there in 7th. E.J. O'Rourke is 8th. Bobby Terrell, William Kemp up there. Those are your top 10 right now. We're coming to 23 complete, and I don't know, Petey, do we see pit stops this time? I can't imagine we'd need to top off again right here, but maybe.
Well, I'm looking at it. If you pit now, you maybe can stretch it to lap about 70, and that's a long shot, so really topping off here, there's no benefit, although I think we're going to see a couple come down pit road, and everyone except the leader is going to come down. So John Abbott, really the only one up here not coming in. We're going to see E.J. O'Rourke and Brennan Mercer lead him down here, so a little bit of a split strategy here, Jacob.
A little bit of a split strategy. Abbott staying put, but Atwell, Comstock, they led most of the entire train down pit road, getting a little bit of fuel back in that tank, and guess we'll see how it shakes out. I'm really kind of intrigued by that call, and it's not going to be the 19 that wins the race off pit road. Comstock was 2nd.
Yeah, that was just...
This is where life gets interesting, and Petey, I want to bring Eric in on this. Plate track strategy, Eric. One of those moments where you ask yourself, is it necessary to pit? Why have these guys come down pit road now after we just had a caution 10 or so laps ago? Why top off a second time here?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's fuel related. You know, if they can't make it all the way, which I'm sure they can't, if they top off now, it'll probably allow them to take less fuel on a potential green flag stop, which would shorten their pit time a little bit, perhaps. So, you know, I don't think tires are much of a big deal here. I think it's most likely fuel related.
We'll see how it plays out, and we're now finally more than a quarter of the way through this race. 24 of 80 laps through, so just about actually 60 miles through. This time by the 200 that we have to run tonight here from the World Center of Racing. And as they crossed the line, it was Dan Murray that actually won the race off pit road, but I believe he may have missed his stall because he's coming back down pit road right here. So that's going to cycle David Comstock through to the first of the guys off pit road, but it is going to put John Abbott to the race lead. Then Comstock, Atwell, Lacrosse, and Murray, the rest of the top 5 right now. Pitts, Mercer, Kemp, Terrell, O'Rourke round out the top 10 with what's going to be 25 laps in the books when we get back to the line.
Very interesting strategy we've seen here. One thing I have to think is I agree with what Brian said, bring them down pit road to get less fuel on a green flag pit stop. The only issue with that is any other track, you're going to benefit greatly from that. If you do that from Daytona, I almost don't think you want to do that, because if you come down pit road and get a faster pit stop with these guys and you have 10 laps to go and you get out the pits all by yourself and everyone else is in the draft, I almost think that would hurt you a little bit, although I don't know, it could be close.
Okay, Thomas, so now we're a quarter of the way through this race. We've seen one pretty spectacular wreck and one not quite so spectacular wreck, but still took out a couple of guys who were challenging for the lead during that last run. So how do you change your strategy now? You've still got 55 laps to go and a whole lot more racing and carnage to try and not have.
There's 2 things I can think of on that one. The first one, I have to agree with Eric on getting fuel and being able to get less fuel if you've got 4 or 5 guys work with you. And we were talking about it before the race. We did that in the first race of the Full Throttle Cup Series last year, and we were running about 19th or 20th, somewhere around there with a couple other guys, and then after the pit stop sequence cycled out, caution came out, and it played to our benefit. We were right up in the top 5. So I have to agree with his strategy on that. Second strategy is, and I'm going to ask you something here on air, Eric. If it's going to be like this at Daytona in about a month and a half, do we have a truce to just go in the back of the pack and just ride it out until the end?
Yeah, man, that's what I do anyway, so you're more than welcome to ride back there with me.
Yeah. we tend to work together pretty well, so.
It has been spoken, so shall it be, and if it's not, either Evan or I will call you two on it sometime during that Daytona race in mid-February.
Oh, well, like I said, things might change. His teammates might want to be up front, so I don't know. I just know Eric, and I don't have any teammates in here except myself. I have to rely on friends, and I don't have many anymore, apparently.
Who, you? Make enemies? What? No way.
Yeah, who would have thought? My aggressive driving, yeah, you know.
Under caution, getting ready to roll here again with 26 laps going to go in the books. This is going to be our second American Ethanol Green Flag restart of the night. 2 caution flags already in the books for what will be 8 laps so far. And John Abbott, that 10 machine, took the lead with a power move during the last stint. He has lost his drafting partner, Josh Morgan, who was caught up in the most recent caution. Now 2 laps down, and as we always say at Daytona, your friends are where you find them. Where will John Abbott find his friends on this restart? Well, I suppose we're about to find out as we work off turn number 4 in the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car. Makes that hard left turn, heads to the pit lane, leaves the field in the hands of the 10, green flag back in the air, we're back underway. Atwell trying to challenge for that runner-up spot. Lacrosse drops to the bottom of the racetrack, and they leave David Comstock to the high lane.
Big jump here by John Abbott. He is gone and away. That's not a good thing necessarily at Daytona, though. He's going to want these guys get to his bumper and just stick with them. Although Atwell hasn't been calm all night, and he's not going to be calm here. Atwell to the outside. He wants to take the lead away from John Abbott, and he's going to have help from David Comstock. Comstock going to try to get his bumper. The only issue is he didn't get there in time, and then meanwhile on the inside, Matt Lacrosse did get to the bumper of John Abbott, so Abbott's going to keep pulling away here a little bit. Although Atwell with his aggressive moves all night, and he's going to leave Comstock out to dry. Atwell just keeps making these moves left and right, and he isn't here to make friends right now. He's just here to take the lead, Jacob.
He is here to take the lead, and he is trying desperately to get it, but how about the move by John Abbott to hold the lead with help from Matt Lacrosse? Those two working well together, and David Comstock to the outside. He's picked up a teammate that I think, honestly, except for maybe Eric, we all kind of forgot about Brennan Mercer back there, but here he is in the top 6, trying to shove Comstock to the outside. They're trying to make a rally.
So here they come on the outside. Comstock with a huge run from Brennan Mercer, and they're going way faster than everyone on the inside line right now. Here comes David Comstock to the advantage. Will he wait on Mercer? The run slows down here. They're about at a dead even speed with John Abbott on the inside, although Abbott doesn't have any immediate help. How long can Mercer push the 20 of Comstock? Here they go on the outside, and they are clear. So give the lead to David Comstock and Brennan Mercer.
That right there was an example of how to tandem at Daytona. Exhibit A. Eric, I think we all kind of forgot about Brennan back there, but that right there was a power move. I mean, that 29 car showed some muscle.
Yeah, Brennan's really good at this style of racing. He's in the mix every time we go to one of these tracks, so it's not a surprise that he's up there battling for the lead.
He's battling for the lead in a big way, and now they've got a challenge on the outside. This time it's Abbott and Lacrosse going to that high lane of the racetrack. Not able to make it happen right now, but here comes Abbott off turn number 4. He's up to the door of the 29, and they're battling wheel to wheel for the lead at the stripe. Comstock alone out front, but Abbott and Lacrosse are coming. Petey, they're headed to you in 1.
And here they come. Abbott on the outside, and his car with significantly less fuel than the rest of the field. He wants to try to take the lead here, enjoy it while he can. He's getting help from Matt Lacrosse. His only issue is he doesn't have immediate help now, and the inside line does. Here comes the 19 of Atwell. Atwell's been fast all night, and he's going to give his help now to Brennan Mercer. So right now there's tandems, and everyone has a partner except David Comstock. So here comes the 10 of John Abbott to the outside. Abbott wants to try to take the lead back. It's going to be dead heat off of 4, Jacob.
It's a dead heat for now, but actually the advantage to that Monster Energy Chevrolet. Comstock is there now. Abbott gets the push from Lacrosse, who's got help from Jamie Pitts. The outside lane's moving. Abbott to the lead as they come to the stripe. Now they're 3 wide. They're sticking John Abbott in the sucker hole. Matt Lacrosse, Jamie Pitts all the way to the outside. Joker's to the left of me and all these other cats to the right, and Matt Lacrosse is going to be the cat that comes away with the lead as they're 3 wide for second down the back.
Amazing racing here. John Abbott left to dry, but he's not giving up yet. He's hanging strong there in the sucker hole, and he's actually going to possibly get clear of Comstock. The 22 and get there fast enough. Speaking of the 22, where's William Kemp come from? We haven't talked about him all night, but he's up there in the mix right now. We just passed lap 30, and now here we go. New leader Matt Lacrosse, as things are starting to spread out a little bit, but not for long.
Lap traffic coming. They're trying not to go 3 wide. That is a speed differential right there, and that's a moment, Eric Grundy's, where you're holding your breath if you're a guy in this lead pack, because when you're coming about 30 miles an hour faster than a lap car, you just got to pray that they don't come down on you. Otherwise, everybody's in a world of hurt at that point.
Yeah, you just hold your breath, and you learn to put your trust in them for about 5 seconds and hope they don't betray you.
That's about what we got, and I think what we got right now is another challenge for the lead by the Stroker Aces teammates. To the top side comes Comstock and Mercer one more time. 20 and 29, Lacrosse and Pitts on the bottom, 21 and 71. It's 3 on top, 2 on the bottom. Comstock with the advantage. He takes the lead down to turn number 1. Mercer's trying to get clear, can't do it.
Mercer really wants to find a hole, and Atwell's being aggressive as he has been all night. Atwell wants to find a way through this mess. Can Atwell possibly find a way by himself? Not likely, but here comes Comstock and Mercer. Give the advantage to them. Mercer's going to go to the low side of Comstock here, and Atwell's going to go with him. David Comstock left out to dry on the outside. He has no help whatsoever, so give the lead to Brendan Mercer as David Comstock's going to continue to fall back. No one's going to bite, and Comstock's just going to keep falling.
I'll throw this out there on air, and Thomas, you might agree with me on this, but by a teammate, that was ballsy right there, what Mercer just did.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw out everything I said about teammates, because I don't think there are any teammates at this point. I think everybody's just trying to lead the freaking race at this right now.
I wouldn't deny it, because, yeah, how about E.J. O'Rourke? Where'd he come from to the top side, up inside the top 10 now? He's got help from the 47 of Sean Brightsman, who's a lap down in this race, but that car is not damaged enough to where that 47 is a great pusher right now. Comstock trying to find a hole with Atwell. Mercer leads the race with Lacrosse and O'Rourke's up there, so now you've got 3 stroker races towards the front again, and you ask who gets hung out to dry this time. Right now, Brennan Mercer leads the party with 34 laps complete. We're going to catch our breaths here, go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Keep an eye on it. We're back to Daytona in just a moment. From the World Center of Racing, it's the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series on LSRTV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
We are back live from the World Center of Speed just in time as well, because they were trying to go 3 wide for the lead just moments ago. We welcome you back to Daytona. Jacob Seelman, Petey Zeller, Eric Brundys, Thomas George in the LSRTV broadcast booth, and it has been a wild one so far. 2 cautions. We are halfway this time by, and Brennan Mercer's led the charge so far, ahead of David Comstock, Garrett Atwell, E.J. O'Rourke, Jamie Pitts the top 5, Bobby Terrell, Matt Lacrosse, John Abbott, Mike Montesi, Adam Benefiel subbing for Doug Roth, up to the 10th position right now. He's made a charge solidly through this field. That's a look at your top 10 on the iRacing mid-race leaderboard, and we'd go down further. They just changed positions so quickly it's hard to keep track. 18 cars, soon to be 16 here in about another lap or so. On the lead lap, Dwayne Vincent, Stefan Marinac losing a lot of time, and they're the next victims to fall prey to going a lap down here when this lead pack catches them. But right now, this lead pack trying to go 3 wide again. Matt Lacrosse took a peek to the outside, no dice. Right now, though, Petey, Brennan Mercer, that 29 machine, doing a brilliant job and still leading this train again.
Here comes the 19 of Garrett Atwell, though. He's been a very aggressive driver all night. He's going to take the lead. He's not waiting on his partner. Of course he's not. He's going to take that lead, which he seems to want so bad here. So give it to Garrett Atwell. And, man, I think they're trying to... Oh, lap cars here. That could come into play. One of them, the points leader, Dwayne Vincent, having a rough night so far. They're lapping Dwayne right now, so... Dwayne just not having the night he needs right now. But speaking of these leaders, man, they're lead changing almost every lap here. They probably want to break the iRacing record here, but ooh, it's just been insanity. There's been 18 lead changes up to this point, folks. That's pretty insane considering there's only been 43 laps. By the end of this event, we're on track to have well over 30. We're going to be towards 40. So right now, these guys, though, still racing hard as the outside line starting to make a charge.
Outside lane making a charge, but yeah, that's almost a lead change every other lap right now as they're trying to go 3 wide again. Jamie Pitts to the outside lane, almost got shoved into the wall. He's got help from Matt Lacrosse. Mercer's in the middle. Pitts to the outside and to the lead with help from Matt Lacrosse. They come to the stripe, and that tandem gonna drop from lane 3 all the way to the double yellow line in turn number 1, and you get dicey, but that's how you calm this field down in a hurry. They're single file for about the front 4. John Abbott, David Comstock going at it, and Eric Brundys. They're trying to go 3 wide for all it's worth, but don't they know that's what causes wrecks around here?
Yeah, I think they hit the halfway point and they realize there's less than 40 laps left, and I think everybody's trying to get themselves in position and get near your teammates. But like Thomas said, I don't know if you even have any teammates out there anymore, so I think they're just going hard for it.
They're going hard right now. The only 2 teammates I think I've seen are David Comstock and E.J. O'Rourke, the 20 and the 23, really being pretty loyal to each other. I've not seen the 2 of them break apart much this entire race, but we look out front. Brennan Mercer back to the point. He's not got a lot of help, save for that 71 of Jamie Pitts, who's doing a nice job. Now takes a look to the outside of the racetrack. Does Matt Lacrosse go with him? Yes, he does. Lacrosse crosses to the top side and trying to shove the 71 to the point, but now it's 3 stroker aces to the bottom of the racetrack. Mercer, Comstock, O'Rourke to the lead. Nearly contact off turn 4. Pitts got really close to the 29 of Mercer. That's the battle for the lead as they come to the stripe.
So give it to the 71, the 29 on the inside. That's Brennan Mercer. Oh, that 56 being lapped again. He is so off the pace here. It's just to fly by him. And right now, the battle for the lead is heated as it's been all night. Battle between Brennan Mercer and Jamie Pitts. Pitts trying to get on the outside. He has help from Matt Lacrosse and Garrett Atwell. And they're going to have a big run coming off the corner. He's probably going to clear the inside line. He will clear the inside line. The real question is, if you wait on Matt Lacrosse, it's going to be close here, and no, Lacrosse cannot get clear. What will Pitts do? Will he stay on the outside and wait on Lacrosse? Yes, he's waiting on his partner here. It's going to be close to the line, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, this is getting dicey again. 3 wide for about 3rd place. Atwell shoves it up the middle. Atwell the 2nd. Atwell going for the lead in the middle in turn 1. Mercer to the inside, then it's Atwell up in the middle. Jamie Pitts top side, they're 3 by 3 to turn 1.
Oh my goodness, they're flying through here right now, and it's calmed down for a second as Atwell is now leading the outside charge with help from John Abbott. Abbott driving his way back up through this field. He wants to contend for the win once again. Remember, he's on less fuel. That should become a factor in the next couple of laps, I'd have to believe. Atwell is he's going to pull it in the inside line, leaving no room for John Abbott. Abbott now as a whole is people behind him checked up and thinking that something bad was going to happen. So single file for the first time in about 20 laps, Jacob.
I can breathe. Holy crap. That moment when the top 6 finally settle out for a minute and you go, whew. So, 48 laps in the books and they look like this. Mercer leads, Comstock second, O'Rourke third, Atwell fourth, John Abbott to the top 5, Bobby Terrell 6th, then it's the 24, Mike Montesi 7th, Ralph Nolan Jr., the 95 is 8th, Adam Benefield at 43, subbing for Doug Roth 9th, and Jamie Pitts, he's dropped all the way back to the 10th position right now, where they're side by side with Matt Lacrosse, Dan Murray, William Kemp, all in that mix, but the top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars now all run single file. Dan Murray's gotten to the top 10, and just as I say that, here comes the charge to the outside one more time, led by that 95, Ralph Nolan Jr. trying to make some moves.
So Nolan trying to make some moves here, and I think these drivers finally understood, hey, we're putting ourselves in pretty big danger here, although, so the first car making moves is that 95 of Ralph Nolan Jr. He's leading the outside charge with help from Adam Benefield. Benefield's going to try to get there and help him, as we're going to see possible move up here. Oh, the 23 of O'Rourke's around on the backstretch. Can he save it? No, he cannot. He's spinning, and caution is out, and just like that, everything changes. He had a slight bit of contact from Garrett Atwell, and the 23 is now in the grass.
And amazingly, there's no damage to that machine. He hangs on to it, a solo spin, and drives away. We'll take a look at this on replay, Petey, and I don't know how he didn't hit anything.
It was a great job there. Looks like Atwell's come back in the line, clipped him in the right rear, and just tried to save it and went through the grass. Really, I'm almost surprised iRacing threw a caution for that. He was pretty far off the surface, although I'm sure he's glad they threw a caution for that. But really, just a one-car, single-car spin. He got it going real quick, and everyone gets through alive, and I guess what this did is just take away the factor of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, we're down to 30 laps to go now when they come back to the stripes, so that should take fuel out of the equation, I believe. We'll wait and we'll get the math when we listen to these teams coming down pit road, but Thomas, now you come down, you get fuel, maybe you get right side tires, and if all bets weren't off before, I'd say they certainly are now.
I think all bets are off at this point. The way that it's been like this tonight, I'm not a fan of play racing because a lot of the time everybody rides single file, but the way they've been going at it, this has been fun to watch, but there's definitely that caution definitely benefited Abbott as well. You can't be forgetting about that, but I'm not sure if you should take tires or fuel only. Honestly, I'm not coming in this situation. I'm not coming back down pit road, so I'm either taking right sides or forward tires, one or the other, because unless you're in the back and the caution comes out and you're damaged, there's no reason to come back down for the rest of the race.
Left side tires for most of the leaders, and Brennan Mercer wins the race off pit road. Matt Lacrosse at 5 flat on his pit stop. That's speediest of all, and I am looking at this. That looks like Mike Montesi, the 24, Petey, that comes out P2. Nice job by that crew.
Wow, good job for that crew. Haven't seen him up front a lot tonight, but I guess he's showing his stuff when it matters most. The last pit stop of the event would be a good time to do that. We're going to see a few of the lap cars come down pit road soon. I believe the wave round under this yellow will be Sean Breitzman, so Sean will get his lap back. I think we should note that Dwayne Vincent was one position short of getting his lap back, so the points leader is going to be trapped lap down here, Jacob, and he has significant nose damage, and what a bad break it's been for him tonight.
The points leader strapped the lap down, but the points leader's not got the speed to stay with the lead pack, so that might that might be just as well for the 9, honestly, and I say that with no offense meant to Dwayne Vincent, but that car is damaged and just going to be tough for it to remain in contention. Not so, on the other hand, for that 47 of Sean Brightsman. That car, even a lap down, Petey, we saw contending, pushing some of the guys in the lead pack, trying to get up to the front. That's a big break for that 47, and Eric, for some of those guys that may have been involved early and pinned a lap down but didn't really have any damage, I'm sure you can vouch for the fact that that's important at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a chance to get your laps back and, just ride out back, and, if you're a lap down, you don't have much to lose.
Did Atwell get caught speeding?
Ride out back and hopefully get a caution, get your laps back, and, just keep your car clean.
Keeping it clean right now, and Brennan Mercer, the one that is keeping it very, very clean as he continues to lead this race under caution. Mike Montesi, the 24 machine, impressive job for him to come up to second. David Comstock, Matt Lacrosse, Bobby Terrell, the B-Car veteran, in fifth. Ralph Nolan, Jamie Pitts, John Abbott, Adam Benefield, Dan Murray. We don't know what's going to happen. 52 laps going to go in the books this time by. And Petey, the best part about it is, it ain't over yet.
It ain't over yet, and boy, we have a lot of good racing left to go here. One machine I'm going to be watching is the guy that got EOL'd for causing the wreck here, Atwell. Man, he's going to be flying through this field fast, I have to believe. Just the aggressive moves he made. It should be fun watching him come through the field, and boy, if the last 30 laps of this race are anything like the first 50, this, in a word that me and Evan like to use a lot, this race will continue to be a barn burner here. This has just been fantastic to watch, and boy, it's even a little bit like it was the first 50 laps. This race is going to be amazing till the finish.
Is that a word? I thought it was 2 words.
It's me and Evan use it a lot.
Okay, well, we'll call it a phrase. We'll go with that. Eric, oh boy. 3 cautions, 22 lead changes, working 12 laps under caution this time as they're going to double up with 1 to go. But that's 22 lead changes in the first 53 laps. I have a feeling that number's about to skyrocket when we go back to green.
And that should be fantastic to watch here. And, oh, man, we are about to see some amazing lead changes, 3 wide. Maybe we'll see our first 4 wide of the night here.
Please no.
I don't think Jacob can handle a 4 wide.
I can barely handle all the 3 wide they're doing right now. I don't know if my heart could take it. We'd be wrecking half the field at that point. And yeah, I think I just heard David Comstock come over the radio and say E.J. O'Rourke took out his earpiece. He doesn't want to hear any of this going back to green.
Oh, man, we're in. Just stay tuned, guys. And Jacob, I have to disagree with you. They won't wreck. I mean, if they can do 3 wide, why can't they do 4 wide? Well, I guess we're about to find out here as they're ready to go green once again here from Daytona, Jacob.
Getting ready to go back green flag racing. It's going to be 53 laps in the books this time by, and just 27 circuits remain. That's still a lot of time for a lot of different things to happen here at the World Center of Speed. And I don't know, Brennan Mercer, it's been a long time since that 29 machine's gone to victory lane. I know he'd like nothing more than to get back there tonight. We've seen it once before in RSR competition, but again, that drought, that 29 machine wants to end it. Ford First Mustang pace car heads for the pit lane. Mercer has the benefit of his teammate to the inside. Green flag in the air. Montesi with a little bit of help from Matt Lacrosse, but it's Mercer, Comstock, Terrell to the inside. They fan out, headed to turn number 1, and Brennan Mercer's got the lead.
Mercer on the inside, on the outside is a newcomer to this lead pack. Number 24, Mike Montesi. Montesi having help from Matt Lacrosse here. So Montesi's going to try to contend with the Mercer and Comstock duo on the inside, and right in the mix is Bobby Terrell. Terrell, always a contender, sure wants to get up there and take this lead right now, but he's going to have to stay content because he has no help. Dead heat for the lead right now. Mercer and Montesi battling it out. Here it's just a 4-car battle here for the lead as we're going to see these things heat up as more tandems come.
Oh, it's a 4-car battle for the lead right now. It's about to be a 15-car battle for the lead before it's all said and done. Mercer, Comstock, Lacrosse settles it out single file, leaves Montesi to fall in fourth with Bobby Terrell back there. Behind the front 5, it's 2 by 2 by 2. They're playing Noah's Ark to turn 1. Comstock shoving, leaning on Mercer for the top spot.
So to the top spot goes that duo, and wow, Mercer goes to the lead, and Comstock's going to follow right through with him. Matt Lacrosse trying to make something happen with absolutely no help. Montesi might be able to get there, but I don't think he'll be fast enough. But Lacrosse is certainly hanging in there right now.
By himself.
But he's just going to have to give way. There was no way that could work with no draft help, so...
He tried to make it work. Thomas George, I got to give that 21 credit. He may have known it wasn't going to work, but he was still ready to try it anyways.
And he wasn't. And right now, this is single file until you get back to the number 71 of the 71 machine. Jamie Pitts. Pitts has had a great night tonight, and sure wants to get back up there and contend for this win once again, although he has a long way to go with all these cars here, and I'm starting to see some new names pop up in this top 10. Look at that. Adam Benefield is up to 6 right now, and Benefield's starting to show his stuff for the first time tonight.
Okay, Thomas, here's the million-dollar question. Are they still playing with fire?
Not until they go 3 wide again, because it's... I would say it's looking pretty calm right now compared to what it was. But don't worry, 10 laps to go. They'll start playing with fire again, I think.
I mean, we got 24 laps to go right now, and Garrett Atwell has found the lead pack again. He is tagged onto the tail and trying to make some moves forward. He's trying to make it happen on the outside lane, but he's not got a lot of help right now. They're squirrely back in the pack. E.J. O'Rourke almost got sideways off the front bumper of the 47 of Sean Breitzman. They hang on to it. Battle for the lead is to the outside now. Matt Lacrosse, Jamie Pitts going at it in 3.
So Pitts is trying to push Lacrosse to the lead. Can they get clear? It's going to be close. Lacrosse is clear for a second, but he's going to wait on Pitts. So right now, Pitts and Mercer are at a dead heat right now. Can they get clear? Lacrosse is sure trying, but they will not be able to even get dead even now. Mercer's going to get a little bit of advantage.
3 wide.
Oh my, this is getting heated here, folks. And 3 wide with John Abbott.
Yeah, John Abbott just got stuck in the sucker hole again, and they're trying it one more time. Hang on tight. Oh, boy.
Looked like Matt got on the wall there.
Yeah, 71 of Jamie Pitts, I think, got in it, too.
How did E.J. O'Rourke pass all them cars in 1 lap? He was just in about 15th, and now he's in the top 5, folks. 1 lap from 15th to about 5th. What a run from E.J. O'Rourke, and he's going to be contending for this lead. Oh, my God!
Here we go.
Lacrosse in trouble. Lap traffic finally bites him. Caution flag out.
They flipping.
Oh, they're wiping out half the lead pack right there. Caution for the 4th time in this one, and it is a huge accident. Garrett Atwell on his lid and over, and he was one of the dominant cars of this race. Oh, my.
Oh, my. And the replay is going up, and you're just going to see that the 56 of Wyatt Wolf was just in a bad place at a bad time. And me and Jacob talked about it. It was bound to happen eventually, but oh, he's picked a bad time. They were almost 4 wide there, and there was just nowhere for them to go, and it just happened, I guess.
Man, Atwell went for a wild ride up into the catch fence. I mean, he had that missed if it wasn't for the 95 of Ralph Nolan Jr. getting loose on the bottom of the racetrack and coming up into him. That's a tough break for Atwell. It really is.
Man, that was a tough break for him. Atwell, he was driving through this field, and I got a feel for him right now. He had one of the fastest cars all night, and just heartbreak here late in this race, and what we're left with is about 10 clean cars, Jacob.
Thomas, you were saying?
I guess they played with fire 5 laps earlier than I thought. But I gotta say something. Remember our discussion about teammates? Look at the top 4. We got about 3 teammates there, so somebody's gonna get left out.
Well, let's back up and look at this, though, Thomas. I mean, I give the Stroker Aces group props for the fact that despite there only being 3 of them after losing Brian Macklin, and they've kind of been catfighting at each other a little bit, but, you know, at the end of the day, There's still 1, 2, and 4 right now on this racetrack, and they're being as loyal as one can be to each other at a restrictor plate track.
Well, I think it's just when you have I want to say it's like Hendrick Motorsports in a sense. You know, Rick Hendrick lets his drivers go out and race each other, but they also know that they have the utmost respect for each other. They don't go out. They can't. Basically, it's you race each other hard. You don't give an inch. Just don't wreck each other. You know, and I'm pretty sure if Eric was out there racing with them, they had all 5 of them out there, they probably would be doing this. He'd be up there as well.
I don't know, Eric, would you be up there, or would you still be at the back of the pack at this point?
I think at this point of the race, I'd hopefully be up front. You know, I think I don't think you're going to accomplish much riding in the back with 20 to go. So.
Well, I mean, there's not that many cars left on the... PD, do we have enough cars left to have another big wreck?
We have another big wreck. That's the field, folks. Man. Although, I gotta give props. I was talking about, briefly before the caution came out, E.J. O'Rourke somehow passed 10 cars in 1 lap to get up in the position, and if he wouldn't have done that, he would have been in that wreck, so E.J. O'Rourke made the right moves at the right time, and now he's still in this race to battle for it, so a great job there by E.J. O'Rourke.
Right now, it's Brennan Mercer leading David Comstock, Mike Montesi, E.J. O'Rourke, John Abbott, the top 5 from the World Center of Speed. We're going to take one final caution flag and hopefully come back and bring you green flag all the way to the finish. From Daytona International, this is LSRTV and the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series. Welcome back to Daytona International, getting geared up for another American Ethanol green flag restart. Going to come with 18 laps to go and what looks to be about a 12-car lead pack. Dwayne Vincent, Ralph Nolan, Matt LaCrosse also on the lead lap to give us 15 total cars on the lead lap, but about 12 or so that are unwounded in all this. So Mercer the leader, Comstock second, and Petey. This is going to be dicey, and all bets are off.
Well, right now, I have to say about them 12 cars, about half of them, I wouldn't say they're unwounded. I'm just saying that they're probably unwounded enough where they can still fight for the win. So this is about to be insane here, folks. Hopefully we don't see another big one, or I don't know what we're going to see for racing-wise, but it's probably not going to be too exciting. So hopefully these guys figure it out and we just get some great last 20 laps of racing here.
Yeah, here we go. 18 laps to settle it. Can Mercer hang on? Can Comstock get to the lead? Who's it going to be? We're about to find out. Pace car heads for pit road, leaves the field in the hands of Brennan Mercer. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. They're going to build up steam and head to turn number 1. And Petey, I doubt that Brennan Mercer's going to have a lot of help right here.
He will not. He has Mike Montesi right behind him. Montesi, oh god, wild move there from Bobby Terrell to get to the inside, but I don't see Montesi really wanting to help Brennan that much, although he's going to have to because he really has no other option here. So dead heat for the lead, Comstock and Mercer. The 3 stroker race cars are going to battle it out here, and who's going to get away with it? I have to believe it's Comstock because right now Mercer's getting literally no help.
Now he gets a little bit of help from Mike Montesi as they head down to the end of the super stretch for turn number 3. Bobby Terrell, John Abbott, they're in this mix. Look at the run that the 29 gets on that inside, the short way around. He's not got the 24 Montesi locked up to him, but he is still right there, and you see the speed off turn number 4. David Comstock to the outside, Mercer to the inside, Comstock to the lead.
So Comstock to the lead, and Comstock was almost clear, but in a last-ditch effort, Montesi kept Mercer's nose in there. Montesi just cannot stay put. And oh, Mercer gets loose. The lap car, the 56, they're already lapping him. Oh my goodness, so hopefully that won't become an issue again as they're still battling for the lead.
It will. At the rate they're lapping him, it will become an issue before the end of this race. Matt Lacrosse, the 21's got damage. He's not going to be a factor. He was one of the strong cars in this mix. Right now, it looks like a 4-car lead pack, but Bobby Terrell and William Kempf trying to make it 3 tandems at the front of the field. Mercer out front with help from Montesi off 4.
And man, this is going to be close at the line. It's going to be really close between Comstock and Mercer. I don't even know who got that one. It was Mercer by 3/1000ths of a second there. Wow, that was close that time by. And Mercer is going to battle on the inside still. So that was very close that time by. And Mercer is going to try to lead this thing for another lap. But behind them, here comes Bobby Terrell and William Kempf. We talked about wounded machines still being able to battle. Kempf has some pretty bad rear damage, but he is still out there battling for this win. As we see more and more machines that we haven't seen all night contend, is Comstock's going to try to take the lead. Where did Dan Murray come from?
Where did Sherry Ann Mills come from? Up to the top 8 right now. That 77 machine with a huge head of steam trying to push William Kempf. John Abbott, it's now 7 cars, 8 cars under a blanket with Mercer out front and no help behind him. Mercer moves topside to pick up his 2 teammates. Mike Montesi down to the low side in turn number 1, and it's going to maybe give Montesi the lead with Bobby Terrell.
Wow, Montesi's going to try to lead this event. We didn't really talk about him until a few laps ago, and now Montesi, an underdog, is trying to win this event. But right now, Mercer in Comstock, the Stroker Ace teammates are going to try to push to the lead. They're going to get so close to getting clear, but they will not quite get clear. Montesi, with help from Terrell on the inside, is hanging tough. And oh boy, it's this time by. Mercer and Comstock are going to try to get a good run off the corner. They certainly have a run. Will it be enough to clear Montesi? It is. They're going to pull down in line. This time by, it's Mercer.
I'll tell you, Thomas, I did not like that move to the outside that Brennan Mercer made. He's lucky it paid off the way it did, because that could have been disastrous and it could have hung those 3 teammates out to dry, maybe not even with a shot to win this race. They got really lucky right there with 14 to go.
Well, with plate racing at this stage, you want, like we talked about earlier, you want people that you can trust and you know they're good. And I think Brennan decided to make the calculated gamble to get David. The only question now is will David keep pushing him to a win, or is David going to try and make the move? And I honestly don't know. Eric might know the answer to that one.
I don't know, Eric. Do you know the answer to that one?
No, I don't. You know, we got, quite a few stroker ace guys up here, so we don't really know where the alliances are. If I had to guess, I'd probably guess there's not a whole lot of talking going on in there right now. So I think we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Petey, if you're Brennan Mercer, he's not one in a long, long time in RSR competition, but he's put his heart and soul into this league. And you're out front leading this race, I have to imagine he is driving the wheels off this thing right now, just trying to do everything he can. He doesn't get these chances very often, and just to try and get a win, that's what matters at this point.
Well, and the famous saying that we use in the Daytona Super Speedway a lot right now, he has to dial it. He has to keep both these lined behind him. He has to block them both and keep them back there. Now, saying that's one thing, doing it's another. Mercer's going to have his work ahead of him, but man, Mercer, he's sitting pretty right now, and if he could pull off this win, we know it would mean the world to him, but he still has about 12 laps left to go. He's going to have to hold off his two teammates here. They seem to be his biggest competition in these closing laps. We're about to find out who is going to be the strong car here.
But it's not over. I mean, it's not just about these three teammates, Thomas. I mean, you've got Bobby Terrell up here. You've got John Abbott, Mike Montesi. You've got several cars here that, if they could get positioned in just the right way, maybe could give a shot to these three team cars. But they're going to have to play their cards absolutely right. And with 11 laps to go, it's not time to make your move just yet.
No, it's not time to make that move, but you have to make it at the right time as well, because if a late race caution comes out, it can automatically just ruin any chance. But if these guys want to get by the teammates, they're going to have to work together, and alliances are going to have to be made within the next 5 laps, and then they've got to make their move, because it's been anybody that's done play racing, you know, it's been them at least once when they didn't make the move for the win.
5 to go, and EJ, or rather 5 to go until 5 to go, so I guess by my math that's 10 to go, this time by 70 of 80, and it's the two teammates, Brennan Mercer, David Comstock, leading the party. Bobby Terrell has pushed Mike Montesi all the way up to third. They're third and fourth, and we got 7 cars lined up on the bottom of the racetrack, and I think that might be John Abbott up top with no help.
And man, we're seeing Sherry Ann Mills. Now she's in a position where she could possibly win this race sitting there. This is just incredible. Although the second part of this pack starting to fall back a little bit. 5 cars are starting to pull away here. That's not good, although I think Sherry Ann has just grabbed onto the draft, so that will help their case. As they're going to single file out, and folks, I don't guarantee a lot of things, but I guarantee you this. This is the last bit of comm racing you're going to see tonight.
Yeah. I will second that in a heartbeat, because right now, 9 laps from the finish, about 17 and a half miles, or rather 22 and a half miles. I can do math sometimes. Oh boy, I mean 83 1/1000ths of a second between the top two this time, and now we're seeing that high lane start to build again. EJ O'Rourke getting a push from William Kempf now in the 22. They're the tandem to the outside. Montesi, look at that. The numerology's lining up now. 22, pushing 23, pushing 24, 3 wide.
Montesi gets left out to dry, although he's going to find the hole. Luckily for him, he found that hole, or else he was going to the end of that pack. So, almost heartbreak there for Montesi, although now battle for the lead. Here comes EJ O'Rourke, last week's winner, with help from William Kempf in 22. This is going to be close to the line, but it is Mercer by about a bumper. So they're getting down to it, the nitty-gritty of this event, and David Comstock is trying to push Brandon Mercer for all he's worth, and same with William Kempf and EJ O'Rourke, Mike Montesi, and Bobby Terrell wait in the wings, and it's anyone's race right now.
And there's still 7 and a half laps to go. Lap traffic again, and they're going to skirt through one more time. I'm telling you, that's going to potentially throw a huge wrench into this. You got to be careful right here. Working these lap cars, and they got to be on the radio to these lap cars, making sure that they don't potentially play a factor into this race. 7 laps to go. This time by Dwayne Vincent. Gonna be the car to go a lap down right here. He'll drop well out of the way and leave this battle for the lead in the hands of the front 8.
Right now, Brian Mercer still hanging tough with David Comstock. These guys are fighting for all their worth right now. Everyone thinks they have a shot to win it, and they're all about to prove why. This is about an 8-car pack for the lead right now. Actually, yeah, this is about an 8-car pack for the lead right now. So 8 cars to duel it out for the win at Daytona as they lap another machine. That one got way out of the way on the bottom. And 3 wide, John Abbott takes it through the middle. William Kempf, it depends on where EJ goes. EJ is going to go to the bottom. William Kempf in the wall hard. Oh my goodness, that was a big net code there.
and that's going to be Kemp's shot to win. He's going to fall way off this lead draft, and you got to be careful. 7 cars left and 6 laps to settle it, and Abbott gets loose.
Oh my, that could have been catastrophic there. And oh no, him and Sherry Ann are falling back. We're losing cars left and right here, so.
Oh, it's not over.
It's not over for them two, but it's over for William Kempf, I'll tell you what. But, oh, right now we are watching what is going to be the duel for the win. Right now, Brendan Mercer has led almost the last, since the restart basically, but Mike Montesi looks high. He has no help, but it's all about where the 14 and 23 go, and these 5 cars are pulling away quite a bit now. So, unless John Abbott and Sherry Ann catch up real quick, it's going to be between these 5.
Mike Montesi just dropped to the outside. It's going to put Terrell and O'Rourke. That could be the pairing that could spoil this entire party. 5 laps to go this time by. If you're going to make a move, you got to make it now. A caution flag ends this race. 12.5 miles to victory lane, and Brennan Mercer still out in front.
Brennan Mercer hasn't seen victory lane in a while, but he sure remembers what it's like, and he wants to get there once again and feel what it's like to win a race. And oh, that's tight. That's really tight. Bobby Terrell to the outside with Mike Montesi. First time we've seen Terrell make a move to take the lead all night. And will him and Montesi get it? They have a good run down the backstretch. It's going to be close between them, Mercer and Comstock here.
All right, Eric, what do you do?
No, I think you just gotta, keep looking out your front window. Don't worry about the cars around you, and just, try to latch onto a bumper and hope it's good enough. These guys are they're racing hard out there.
4 laps to go. 10 miles. Bobby Terrell to the lead. Mike Montesi to second. Mercer, Comstock, third and fourth. And it's now the 14 and the 24 drop down in front of everybody. John Abbott to fifth. O'Rourke to 6th. This is not over yet down the super stretch again, and Terrell's now the one on defense.
Oh my, what a change there. And to the outside comes John Abbott and E.J. Rourke. Will Mercer go? Yes, Mercer's going to go with the outside lane. So this is about to get really entertaining. Oh, but E.J. Rourke comes next to the bottom. This is a battle for the lead, folks. Here they come to the outside, the 29 of Mercer and the 10 of Abbott. The leaders are separated. Mercer is going to get to the outside of them. It's just about if he can clear him or not. It's going to be close. Oh, lap car.
Wow, that was tight. 3 laps to go. Thomas, am I the only one that thinks that pairing on the outside is appropriate right now? The admins are ganging up trying to beat everybody.
I got nothing to say other than that T-shirt might become a reality here.
The admins are coming. The admins are coming. Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. Mercer with the push to the lead. Abbott's there to the outside. Comstock and O'Rourke are up top trying to give him some help. 5 miles remaining, and now Brennan Mercer has no friends and no help. Abbott washes up to the outside.
Oh my, the flagman has 2 flags in his hand indicating 2 laps to go here from Daytona. The Mercer and Terrell combo starting to pull away a little bit, but that will not last for long because here comes Comstock and O'Rourke. Montesi's going to come to the top with him. This is anyone's race still, folks.
Oh man, you have no friends now, except for maybe Comstock and O'Rourke, because O'Rourke seems content to push one of his teammates to victory lane. Who's it gonna be? I mean, Thomas, if you're Brennan Mercer right now, you gotta be looking at this and going, oh, can we please be done already?
You're not focusing about that. You're wheeling it, you're doing everything you can, you're blocking, you're trying to hold them off. You got the white flag coming here, and it's gonna be a hell of a finish.
White silk in the air. Final time. Bail out. 2.5 miles to victory lane, and it's Brennan Mercer out in front with Comstock coming.
Big upset here because Terrell's not on him. Comstock's going to have a huge run. It's a dead heat. Who's going to win this race? Terrell's pushing Mercer for all he's worth, and on the outside, O'Rourke and Comstock are separated, so Mercer and Terrell are going to get a little bit of a run here. They have actually quite a bit of a nice run here, and this top pair I don't think will be able to get combined soon enough. It's going to come down to the finish line and to you, Jacob.
All right, to turn number 3 for the final time. Bobby Terrell trying to shove Brennan Mercer to victory lane. David Comstock and E.J. O'Rourke seem to have run out of steam. Through turns 3 and 4 for the last time, does Terrell go to the high side to try to win it? Mercer to the bottom. Terrell forces his way down low. It's a drag race to the line. They make contact.
Oh,
Brennan Mercer wins it. Sideways through the grass is Bobby Terrell, but Brennan Mercer finally. back in victory lane. Are you kidding me?
Oh my, he went up high to block Terrell, and Terrell was expecting it, so Terrell went low, and Terrell would have had it won, but he got loose underneath him and spun the car out.
Have you ever?
No, I've never.
Oh my, Terrell still got second there, folks, but he would have won it if he could have just hung on.
4/100ths of a second at the line in a drag race sideways. The top three separated by 92/1000ths of a second. And at the end of it all, oh man. Hey, Eric, your teammates got John Abbott to thank for the victory, because if it weren't for that 10 car, Mercer would never have gotten that push to get to the lead in the first place.
Yeah, you know, I thought he was done there with 3 to go when Terrell got out to the lead, but, you know, he didn't give up, and thankfully John was there and gave him a boost and gave him a well-deserved victory. I know he's been waiting for that, and so I'm really happy for him.
Oh, so Mercer's going to get to burn the house down in turn number 1, pulling it back. He gets to celebrate the 29 in victory lane again at long last. Bobby Terrell second, Montesi third, Comstock, Abbott, O'Rourke the rest of the top 6. We're going to catch our breaths and come back for the RSR post-race show in just a moment, presented by Gary Mercer Trucking from the World Center of Racing. It's Daytona International Speedway here on LSRTV. Welcome back to LSRTV from the World Center of Speed, Daytona International Speedway. And we're still trying to catch our breaths after an insane finish at Daytona. Sideways wrecking at the line, Brennan Mercer, one of the kingpins of the RSR League. It's been a long time since he's been to victory lane. He gets to celebrate. We'll hear from him and some of the other top finishers during the Gary Mercer Trucking post-race show. And real quickly, we're going to take a look down the leaderboard right here as we wrap it up. Mercer, Terrell, Montesi, the top three separated by less than a tenth of a second. Then it's Comstock, John Abbott, E.J. O'Rourke, Adam Benefiel, Stephen Herring, Jamie Pitts, Dan Murray, the rest of the top 10 with Sherry Ann Mills, William Kempf, Ralph Nolan Jr., the 13 cars that finish on the lead lap, Dwayne Vincent, Stefan Marinac. The last two cars running along with, I believe, Ronnie Potts and Sean Breitzman, 17th. I think 17 cars officially finishing this race at the end of it. And, oh boy, going to come right down to pit road here as we kick off the post-race show. And the 10 car, John Abbott, and I said it before we went to commercial, that John, if it wasn't for you, Brennan would not have won this race. You two hooked up and had a head of steam, the likes of which I didn't see this entire race long. How on earth did y'all find the momentum to get to the front of the field? And what was the difference for you there? It just looked like you got there and then just didn't quite have enough to stay with him and get back down to the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about helping Brennan there. I mean, things were so hectic after that, but yeah, I was just pushing anybody and everybody to get to the front, and Brennan made a good move there. You know, he had he not taken the bottom after we cleared the pack, I would have dropped down. But so he made a good move, and then there at the end, I was just I'm really not aggressive enough on that last lap. Everybody was, you know, pedal down, and I really couldn't get up to Sherry Ann to push her like I wanted to, and I regret that now that I wasn't more aggressive coming to the white flag. But it was one heck of a race for sure.
It was an insane finish, and before we even got there, John, you really were right in the middle of the hornet's nest 2 or 3 times, had to avoid some spectacular crashes tonight to even be in position. How tough was it with the 4 cautions that we did have? I mean, just staying out of trouble and keeping the car clean.
Well, it definitely, as an admin, I hate to see any incidents that take people out, but that first big wreck definitely cleaned the field out. And so it made it a little easier to get up there. But I haven't turned a super speedway lap probably in 6 months. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, and haven't turned a wheel in 3 weeks. So I'm really surprised that I had the run I had, but I wasn't going to be that aggressive. But as the race went on, I became more and more confident and became, more aggressive.
I know it was a lot about confidence tonight, and it was certainly a strong run. I know you said it stalled out there at the tail end, and maybe the aggression wasn't there. It looked crazy there at the front of the field, though. And, we had a crash coming to the line on the last lap, just really dicey. Was it typical Daytona, did it seem like to you?
Well, oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these super speedway races, it takes as much luck as it does skill, but, you do have to be in the right place at the right time there at the end, and unfortunately, I wasn't. But it was a heck of a finish. I think Bobby Terrell spun out right in front of me, which was kind of cool. But coming to the flag, but yeah, it was a typical speedway race.
It was typical. It was a lot of fun, and for you, it's a strong run. I know. John, I'm sure there's some thank yous you want to make. Who makes it happen for you and this RSR crew?
Yeah, the administration at RSR, Keith Brooks Jr., Joey Jatina, Steve Herring, Doug Manning, Jonathan Cadell, Jimmy North, all that administration, really got to thank them. Brendan Mercer, can't believe I left Brendan out. He won the race tonight, but And then LSRTV, you guys, Laura, you, Jacob, Evan, do a really great job and makes a lot of fun for everybody. And then all of our sponsors at RSR, Inside Sim Racing, iLeadRace.com. Want to give them all a big thank you.
Yeah, we're going to harass Evan next Monday night because he wasn't here tonight and missed a heck of a show. But, John, a top 5 run for you. It was definitely fun to watch. And just 3 races to go in this Icebreaker Series. It's going to be crazy coming down to the end for these guys in the points.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll have to take a look at it here. I know Vincent had some bad luck there. He's my buddy. I hope he can turn it around next week. But yeah, look forward to the rest of the season, and then our Full Throttle Cup Series, the 4th annual, coming up this February. Looking forward to that for sure.
It's going to be fun to watch, John. 5th place, strong run for you, and I suppose we'll see you next week. And I'll throw it down to Petey Zeller on pit road, who caught up with the guy who is spinning through the grass and still finished 2nd, Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, I've caught up here with Bobby Terrell, and Bobby, what a race. We saw you take more of a calm approach to this event. You tried to just keep your car clean throughout the event and make it last to the end. Was that the plan going through the event, just try to hang around the top 10 and keep your car clean?
Yeah, I mean, that was my plan. I was just taking it easy and, just trying to stay out of trouble and try to see where I could put myself, at the end with, like 10 laps to go. And it worked out good. I mean, other than coming to the line when, we bumped a little bit and I got forced below the yellow. But overall, it was a good race. I can't complain.
Now take me through what was going through your head when Mercer went up high to block you and you went low, and you seemed to have a great run. What was going through your mind? Did you think you had the race won?
Oh, I didn't think. I mean, I thought I had a good enough run on him that I think I would have got him at the line. If I hadn't have just had that, he kind of squeezed me a little bit and pushed me below that yellow line, so I knew it was over from there. But, I was wrecking but hung on to it.
The fans loved it, man. You did a great job hanging on that car. How did you hang on, still finish 2nd, and not spin and fall back further?
I don't know, man. I think I was on the brakes and the gas at the same time.
All right, man. Before I let you go catch up with your crew and everything, who do you think? Who makes it happen for you in the 14 crew?
I'd like to thank you guys up in the booth, LSRTV, Real Sim Racing for putting this on, and all the admins for doing this. Appreciate it.
All right, well, that was our 2nd place finisher tonight, Bobby Terrell, and meanwhile in victory lane, Jacob Seelman has caught up with Brendan Mercer where the champagne is flying.
Champagne's flying, Gatorade victory lane. This has been a celebration a long time coming. And hey, Brennan, you won again, finally.
Yeah, it's taken me almost 2 years to get back to victory lane, but what a great race! First off, gotta give a few shout outs here right off the bat. I gotta thank my wife Maggie for letting me do this each and every week, and gotta thank David Comstock and John Abbott for the 2 huge pushes there. If I didn't have those 2 guys behind me, I wouldn't have won this race. And coming with Bobby to the line, he's probably the best driver in this car, probably one of the most underrated, and kind of squeezed him. But I mean, I had to do what I had to do, and I was desperate for a win, and I hope everybody can realize that.
Oh, we could see it. I mean, you pretty much dominated the latter stages of this race. Had what looked to be one of the best cars in the draft, but I know you had the hounds behind you 3 or 4 times over the final 15 laps, and they actually got by you at one point. I mean, how tough was it for you trying to fend everybody off, and then, like you said, that push from John to get back to the lead?
Well, I knew David was hot, and he's been pushing me for the last 20 laps, and I knew he couldn't push me anymore. So I just grabbed the next fastest car to the outside line, and it was John. He could have went high to ditch me, but he didn't. He kept on pushing me there, and I kind of thought EJ was still behind him, kind of pushing him too. So I kind of left him out to dry there, but I thought he would get kind of beside me there, and we kind of raced to the finish, and it'd be just between me and him, but that's not what happened. But the way that worked out, I guess the draft wasn't that big. We lost a lot of guys halfway through the race. So, I mean, but I mean, that's the thing with this. I mean, when I come into a Daytona race, I race up front, and I do it for 80 laps, and that's my strategy going in, because the minute I'm 15th or 16th is the minute I get caught in the big one.
I was going to say, talk about that, because you actually started way back in this field, and that very first big accident about lap 9 or 10 there, you were almost in that one, had to woe it up big time just to get through it. It was dicey, and you kept the car clean, but how chaotic was it there? Because that was the wreck, like John said a few minutes ago, that basically wiped out half the field.
Yeah, I saw it happening to the right of me, and I think one of my teammates there called it out, so I was able to react to it right away, and that's what really helped survive. I mean, also too, it was didn't want to end the night on race 10, but I mean lap 10, but we got through it, and we're able to get up front and get to the finish.
You've put your heart and soul into this for going on 4 years now. It'll start with the 4th annual Full Throttle Cup Series next month, Brennan. But just for 2 years, it's been a fight, a grind for you just to try and get these runs, relish them when you get up front, but to finally get back to victory lane. How big is this for you as a driver, knowing how much you've put into this behind the scenes?
Yeah, behind the scenes is huge, and I can't thank the mins that help out each and every week, that we kind of do a collective meeting there on every Sunday and try to get the emails out on Monday, and that's the big thing. That's just to try to get everybody. I mean, we do this as a hobby, and that's our thing, and we have you guys to thank for putting on a great show every week as well. And I mean, it's a great partnership between LSRTV and Real Sim Racing, and those are the two partnerships, and these are partnerships that we really relish as well.
It's been a lot of fun, Brennan. I know you gave a few of the shout-outs already. Any other sponsors or supporters you want to thank?
Oh, got to thank Maggie again. Can't thank her enough for letting me do this every week. This is my stress release every Monday night. And then also, too, I got to thank the guys at Cody Bias Racing and Stroker Races. Too many names to thank on that one. And I got to thank Gary Mercer Trucking for putting the car in each and every week.
It's been fun. They were aces tonight, and the aces came up for you, Brennan. A win 2 years in the making. It was close, but you got there. Congratulations again. And, you say it's a stress reliever. Pretty good way to end the night.
Thanks, Jacob.
That's it from down here in Victory Lane, and we'll come back upstairs. Thomas, I'll go to you first, because this was, as I think you said about 4 times during this race, absolutely insane.
Oh, it was a fantastic race to watch, and you don't see racing like this anywhere else except at Daytona or Talladega. And when you've got 30 plus cars all trying to go for a win, you got some that are trying to make the moves early, and you got some that are laying back there, but when it comes down to it, when it starts getting down 20 to 10 to go, we were expecting a great finish, and we got it. Not to mention great racing in between. Nobody was laying back, and I'm glad I was up here to be in the booth to watch it instead of down there, because I don't know what the heck I'd be doing if I was in the car.
Probably holding your breath for about 200 miles.
Give or take.
Petey, you got to come up here and keep Evan's seat warm tonight, and we get to harass him tomorrow for
if it's not them, somebody else could have punched their ticket.
Because I have to agree with Thomas. This was one of the most fun plate races I've seen in about the past 12 months.
Well, first of all, Evan, I hope the hockey game was pretty good, because, man, you missed one heck of a race here, but, doing iSuperspeedway in Verdane like every Friday for so long, and I have to say, honestly, this was probably the best plate race I've seen in quite some time. It just had everything, and what impressed me the most is they didn't wreck doing it. They held on to their cars, they drove to their limits, and let's go through the cautions. I mean, one of them was a one-car spin that, in reality, maybe shouldn't have even been a caution. The other one was them just having nowhere to go with a lap car. So really, these drivers just drove spectacular tonight. They made hardly any mistakes here, and it was just fun to watch.
It was fun to watch, and we've only got 3 rounds left for the Icebreaker Winter Series, and as Brennan mentioned in Victory Lane, then we get to gear up for the 4th annual RSR Full Throttle Cup Series for the 2015 season, which Grundy's is the defending champ of, and we appreciate his time up here in the booth tonight as well. So for Eric, Thomas, and Petey, and of course our executive producer Laura Lawson, I'm Jacob Seelman from the World Center of Racing. Keep it off the wall until we meet again, and we'll see you next time right here on the web. A good night from Daytona International Speedway, and congratulations to Brennan Mercer, 2 years. He's finally back in victory lane.